Hello, my beautiful African people. Today we are talking about reparation. Recently, in November last year, the Caribbean countries and West African countries have teamed up together to push for reparation to be paid to the victims nations of past slavery. But anytime reparation is mentioned, those colonial masters' descendants, their remnants, they oppose reparation, especially with regards to Africans or African Americans. They oppose this type of movement, but now the movement is getting some attention because the UN have given a head order for reparation tribunal to be set up. But we shouldn't start rejoicing yet because sometimes they set this kind of tribunals and they purposely set this kind of up. They know it's going to come to a dead end. But since most of Africans now have woken up because this summit, because this Caribbean and West African countries pushing for this reparation, they had a summit in Ghana in November 2003. That shows that, and among those that are in favor of reparation, Nigeria and Ghana are pushing it. They're going to have another summit in April to look into reparation. But anytime we talk about reparation, they always oppose this reparation. Especially most of these colonizers. And this is going to be centered on European colonial masters, let me name all of them. Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, France, Britain, and who again have I missed out? I think German. They all participated in slavery. And you remember that most institutions and even the European Union have concluded that the slave trade is a crime, is a crime against humanity. And if someone commits a crime against humanity, as they said, due to the transatlantic slave trade, I think those people that have bear this consequence of this slavery should have reparation, just like other stuff in history. We see reparation being paid to the Jewish people because of Holocaust. I think the Africans and the Black Americans, they deserve reparation. And we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about some of those opposition comments and statements these people throw at reparation to dissuade people from pursuing this aim. I'm going to talk about it, but let me say something because they said that America, Biden is the president of America. In America, they said they support this tribunal to be set up. And it's kind of irony because Biden is a Democrat, and in America, when the African Americans are talking about reparation, Democrats they're not in support of reparation. But I think it's gonna be that kind of lining, it's gonna change now because since people are, many countries are pushing for this reparation, they're gonna change their stand. I hope the Democrats change their stand and start, paying reparation to African Americans that deserve because of injustice. that are victim of slavery. And people don't understand how terrible slavery is because they think this happened in the past. But when you look at the way some people went to a different continent altogether, bring some people out in their thousands and even millions of them, and take them out from their root and bring them up where people that doesn't resemble them are majority. And they brought them up to just do work for them, no payment, no pension. And this work went on for more than 300 years. Because 15th century, I think that's when these Europeans went to Africa and started doing this slavery trade. So it's more than 300 years of slavery. And imagine all the labor, all the work these people have done, people that they brought in the West to do the slavery have done, and there was no payment, no pension for them, nothing. So if you calculate all this labor, even the labor cost of this, you see that the reparation, if they should pay reparation, this should affect almost half of their GDP. They should spend half of their GDP in paying reparation. Those Western countries that participated in slavery, because I mentioned most of the Europeans that participated in European countries, America, United States participated in slavery as well. So there's going to be part of this payment. But the stuff is that they don't want to pay. And because it's only Netherlands, I have read that, they came out and they apologized for slavery. And they map out, I think, $200 million to redress the issue of slavery, but they don't come out and say it's a reparation. And sometimes they bring this money, just like AIDS they give to Africa. They say they are giving millions in AIDS in Africa. It doesn't get to anyone. Because you bring out 200 million out, as Netherlands did, for this to do redress, you shouldn't be the one using this money. Because if you started telling people what to do with that money, it's not reparation anymore. You know what I'm saying? So apology alone, and even 200 million, is nothing, because. When you look at the labor force today, and somebody work for even, let's say, 2 years, let's say 500 people work for 2 years, no payment. If you check those payments that will accrue within 2 years of 500 people working, it's a lot of money, and you multiply that to millions of slavery people that they enslaved and they work for more than 200 years or 300 years without any payment, no pension, nothing. These people live and die without anything. They're just like someone that end up in hell. No life. You know what I'm saying? So this is a peanut. The Netherlands, even though I didn't even know how they spend that 200 million anyway, but it's a peanut. Reparation is going to be bigger. It's going to affect them in their pocket, but it's something that they deserve to do. So let me circle back to the objections they give, because I'm going to post the articles, because I saw most of the objection because of this reparation tribunal and the summit going on. They're saying, it's going to be difficult to carry on with this reparation, because they're just throwing it there. It's difficult for you to know everything that has gone on during this dark period. Even the archives, you cannot. Some government officials in Europe will not allow you to access the archives, to find all the information you need to to look into this reparation. You see the tactics. They want to discourage people. They want to push this out. Oh, it's going to be difficult. But do you know that going to the moon is difficult? But it doesn't prevent people from preparing to go to the moon. That's the number one answer that should, push back on these people that say, is it going to be difficult to do this? It's going to be difficult to do that. Why is it difficult? If the reparation have been paid to, other people, other groups before, why is it difficult when it comes to black people? The second argument against the reparation they make is that, oh, this happens in olden days. It's our forefathers. We have nothing to do with this kind of stuff that happens. So we shouldn't be paying for our forefathers. You see, it's a weak argument because it's their forefathers. But if you go to the museum today, in London, in most of the European capitals, you see that so they have some roots from Africa. People pay money to go into this museum, so you guys are benefiting just from museum alone, not from other profits, that your forefathers made, and it helped you guys up to today to build the structures you have here today from slavery. And you want to deny, you just want to take the good aspect of what your forefathers did, but the bad aspect, you want to push it out. You see the hypocrisy in the argument. It doesn't hold water. So that's why the Africans and Caribbeans are waking up to push for this, this injustice and to rebalance the economy of the world, because the economy of the world is not balanced. It have been hijacked a long time ago by a few countries. All the wealth are in the hands of Europeans. Most of the wealth in the world are in the hands of them or their descendants. So it's only little that left for Africans. The whole African countries, their GDP is not up to 3 trillion, I guess. But look at the American GDP alone. It's double that of Africa. And Africa have more population, there are almost 1 billion people in Africa. And America just 300 something million. You see the imbalance in the economy and in the world, and people are suffering. So I think those Africans, the Ghana and the Nigerians that are pushing for this reparation, they should continue pushing for it, and and so that this is gonna come to a fruitful end. And because even the article I read talking about this reparation is saying that even this tribunal, they might look at other means of enforcing this reparation, even if it's going back to court to find justice. I think they should expand their option and, so that this reparation be paid to Africans. And even if this reparation is going to be paid, let them not pay it to the government, because the government, African government, it will end up coming back to Europe. You have to pay it to the individuals. Just like in America, if they want to pay the reparation to African Americans, they should pay per head individual. Don't say, let us build schools against this money for reparation and build schools or give scholarship. Give them the money, cash, they deserve. Thank you for watching. Please follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment, like our video. Peace.